Hey guys, Omega here. Welcome back to another training video. This one is going to be on the Auric this one's going to be on the Auric Bomber certification. Basically how these videos go, I don't like writing, people don't like reading, and so I'm basically just going to voice over me dropping a whole lot of bombs, show what works, show what doesn't work, how to aim, how not to aim, and maybe show you some mistakes, some bad things I've done along the way. And then the idea by the end of this is to get you dropping bombs effectively on target repeatedly. For the certification, I'm not really going to put what we're going to need for the certification because that's due to change, and I don't want to come back and edit the video if we decide you need to get 2 out of 3 bombs on target, or 2 out of 4 bombs, or 6 out of 8 bombs on target in order to get your certification. Basically what this video is going to show you how to do is utilize those 2 circles you get in your bombing reticle to drop the bombs effectively on target. This video is for Auric. However, if you did find this on YouTube, you're not an Auric, but you're curious about learning how to bomb, feel free to go through the video, leave any comments in there if there's anything I missed. This basically is the accumulation of knowledge I have on bombing so far. If I would have made this video 6 months ago, I probably would have got a lot wrong because I know a lot more now than I did 6 months ago, which means 6 months from now, I'm probably going to know a lot more about bombing than I do right now. So this is basically accumulation of what I know for right now, what seems to be working for me, and this could evolve, and as I get better, I may come back and make improvements on the video. However, if you are watching this and you're not an Auric and you'd like to join Auric, I'll leave the details to join Auric, or at least to pop into our Discord, say hi, and see if you're a good fit, see if you like flying with the guys. Feel free to join us. We do lots of org operations. We've got industry, we've got mining, we've got a Navy, we've got special operations teams, we've got a medical team, we've got an engineering team now. So this is all relevant up to 4.5. And I guess we can just get started. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the A2, the big bombs. We're going to go over the aiming reticle, how to lock onto the reticle, how to use that aiming reticle to drop bombs, and why you shouldn't. So let's get started in the A2, and a couple things I want to talk about is that aiming reticle that you have right in front of you. It lets you know whether you are lined up on your target, and it lets you know your distance to target. I wouldn't try using this all the time. It doesn't work too often. A couple other things I want to point out is you've got a red circle. That red circle that lays across the ground is going to show you about where your bomb's going to land if you happen to pull the trigger right at that moment. Now, there are a lot of things to consider when you're doing your bombing run, so it doesn't always land in that red circle. Then you've got, of course, your blue circle, which we're looking at right now. If you want to lock your blue circle into place, you hit Alt-B, and it'll lock it. It'll turn green. Now, wherever you move, that blue circle isn't going to move around. You see, now I'm yawing left and right, and you see in my reticle, there's that line down that goes from left to right. It will line up. There, now I'm lined up, I'm going forward, and I see the little dot coming up to the center of the screen, and I'll drop my bomb just as soon as that dot hits the middle. And what you're going to see here is I come up way short, which is why I don't like using that bombing reticle. Now, it does sometimes get somewhat accurate when you've got a good speed and a good 45-degree angle, but I wouldn't rely on that aiming reticle to tell you where you're going to hit, because you see I'm about... From this distance, that's about 700 meters short of the green circle. In fact, you might notice that it landed probably right almost to the edge of the green target location circle. So I don't like using that a whole lot. I'm going to go around for another pass. We're going to keep the circle locked into place, and then I'm just going to try to put the red circle on the green circle. And I'm going to release the bomb as soon as that red circle goes over the green circle to show you where the bomb's going to land if you do that. There we go. Got her pretty lined up. Releasing bomb now. I'm going to pull away and have a look at it. You see the bomb dropping there. I should go back into cockpit mode here. There we go. You can see where the bomb is right there. Watch where it drops. You see how it hit the very edge of the green circle? Now, what that tells me is that when we release the bomb, we want to have the bottom or the nearest part of the red circle over the target and still be lined up on it. So we're going to try that this time. lined up on target, getting speed so the red circle reaches out. Now, instead of dropping when the circles line up, I'm going to drop right now. The bottom of the circle was in the center of the bottom of the red circle in the center of the green circle, and we'll see how that one hits. Dead center. That's a bullseye. Or as near as we can come with these. This is going to change a bit depending on the atmosphere and the gravity of the moon or planet that you're on. If you're on Bloom and Microtech, somewhere with a really thick atmosphere, it's going to slow that bomb out a lot more. And so there's going to be a lot more margin of error the higher you are, and the more the air has the opportunity to slow down that bomb's drop. Those fins are active. Those fins pop out of the bomb. They grab the air. They slow it down. So it's not going to make it to all the way to the red reticle. Almost never. There are exceptions to this, and I'll show you this a little bit later. One more bomb, just because I've got a fourth one in here. And boom. That's a good accurate hit, and that's what I like to do with the A2s. So we're in an A2 again. I just went and spent 2.5 million credits to get 4 more bombs. Yes, they are that expensive now at 4.5. And we're going to go do a little target practice on down at Hathor. I think we're down at PAF 1. I'm just doing my public service right now, cleaning up some derelict ships that have been left laying around. Here's another Hercules that looks like it needs to be gotten rid of because there's just too many ships down there. You know, it tanks people's frames. It's an eyesore. So a lot of people like to go salvage these ships to clean them up. I've got my own way of cleaning up the trash laying around the Hathor sites. So as we approach right now, it's the same principle. I'm going to try to get the bottom or the nearest section of my red circle on the target, and then I'm going to release as soon as the bottom of the red circle or have almost gone past it. I'm going to release the bomb, and we'll see how accurate it is. So now we're dead center. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It skipped a little bit and released. It does skip a little bit when you're pulling up. You're going to see that that red circle skip around a little bit. Wait for the impact. Bounce and boom. Dead bullseye. Actually skipped the bomb under it and blew it up. And that's a whole lot of rocks coming up at us. And 4.5 now, you can hear those rocks bouncing off your hull. It's very cool. So you will notice sometimes it's hard to keep your reticle steady if you're already starting to pull up, and I do it out of habit. I shouldn't do it, but I should keep my nose steady and not try to pull up before I drop the bomb, because then that red reticle's or that red circle's going to start skipping around. Here I've got a bunch of abandoned ships. I'm not griefing here. I did scan those ships. They are game rules. There's nobody down there. I'm not that kind of guy. You're dropping the bomb right here, and I'm just trying to hit the base of the antenna array. Clean up all those abandoned ships down there. If there was anything down there, there was 3 ships down there. There's not anymore. If any NPCs, no crime stat. So thankfully, there's some debris flying around from the last bomb drop. No crime stats. So thankfully, there's nobody down there looting. All right. Looks like I've got one more bomb here, and we're going to try to put that just over top of this wrecked Polaris. Steady the reticle. Boost. Still pulling up, so it's skipping a little bit, but it released right there when the bottom of the red circle is on target. Oh, there's the bomb. Just over top of it. There we go. All right, now let's step down a size and start having a look at the A1 bomber. It's got the 10 medium-sized bombs. And basically, I'm bombing Jumptown right now. And basically, I'm going to do just about the same thing. I'm getting the bottom of that red reticle right on Jumptown, release and pull away. And that one was just over, but pretty good. Anybody at Jumptown would no longer be at Jumptown. We'll flip it around, do the same thing again. You can tell I recorded this one a little while ago because I was using the widescreen to record, but it's some pretty decent footage. And you'll notice it's a little bit more difficult to see and spot when you're flying level, but you can still be pretty accurate. That one, because I was flying so level, Actually, my red reticles skip a little bit farther forward, and it's really hard to see your target when you're flying down level. It could be a tactical advantage to doing that, so I do suggest you practice. But you see, that time I was a little bit too level and had a hard time adjusting my red reticle, so I just overshot the mark a little bit on that one. We're going to go down. We're going to do another level one because I'm stubborn and I wanted to get it right. So there I am, lined up perfectly on jump down, watching my red reticle, and released. Let's see if I got her that time. That would be a bullseye. So the same principle applies in this one as does in the A2. Just everything's moving a little bit quicker. Bombs are a little bit smaller. You got a lot more of them, but things move a lot faster. So you need to be a little bit more precise on when you pull that trigger. A little bit easier to miss. A whole lot easier to make it when you come down at this 45-degree angle, though, because then you notice at that steep of an angle, I basically released the red reticle right on it, and I did it really close. The big difference there is I released it arguably too close to where it just about had me cartwheeling and crashing my ship because of the concussion of the bomb. The closer you are, the less you have to lead that red reticle out in front of it, if that makes sense. So as we go forward with the smaller bombs, you're going to see you don't really have to lead those much at all. That one, I did lead it a little bit. Had the bottom end of the red circle right on target. As you come down at a steeper angle, and especially if you're close, you don't have to lead it quite so much, but you'll get the feel for how steep you are and how much you have to lead it. This one should be a slight lead. Release there. And dead on target. So a couple of things that should be obvious. The steeper your angle, from a 35, 45, 55 degree angle when you're making your bombing run, the more accurate you're going to be. And obviously, the closer you are when you drop the bomb, the more accurate you're going to be. However, the downside to that is if you're too close when you drop the bomb, release. If you're too close, of course, the bomb can kill you. So with this one, kind of a problem. A2, huge problem. With the smaller bombs that you can now fit onto fighters in the newest versions of the game, being too close isn't really an issue. So you can get right up nose to nose, say hi, pat them on the butt as you drop your bomb and head on out. Looks like we'll make a couple of more runs with this one just to kind of get an idea. This is a good shallow angle. Still going to put right over it. Click. Bottom of the circle on the target. And another bullseye. Now the same aiming philosophy works when we're targeting airborne targets as well. It's going to be pretty common that we'll be called upon to bomb an Idris, bomb a Polaris, bomb anything that might be floating. If it's holding still, it makes it a whole lot easier. Right here, we're going to try to hit this Firebird that's just holding still and floating in the air. And we're going to aim at it the same way we aim at anything else. We're going to get lined up on it, and we're going to watch that red reticle. And as soon as we see that red reticle lined up, the bottom of the red circle, lined up with the target, we're going to release right about now. And you can see you can even hit airborne targets with bombs, not just targets that are on the ground. And of course, if you can hit a Firebird, you can definitely hit an Idris or a Polaris. The next one that we're going to talk about is the little bombs that you can now fit on size 3 missile racks. We are able to do this for a couple patches now, but as of 4.5, there are a lot more fighters and other ships that can hold these little bombs now. Just to get an idea, the Avenger can drop 2 of them. The Avenger series, Gladius, can fit 4. Arrow can fit 2. Your Mark 1 Hornets can fit 4, but the Mark 2 Hornets can only fit 2 of them. None on the Super Hornets. So don't buy yourself a Super Hornet thinking it's going to be a bomber, because they won't fit on there. If you get the Gladiator, it can actually be a bomber, proper bomber now, instead of just a torpedo boat. It can hold 4 of them. Bounty Defender can hold 2 bombs. Buccaneer can hold 2 bombs. The Talon and the Tana can hold 2 bombs each. But the big surprise for 4.5, the Drake Clipper can hold 8 bombs. And so we're going to see me practicing with the Clipper, because it can hold 8 bombs. It can drop 4 at a time, or it can drop 8 bombs individually. So we're going to go over and see a bunch of different ways that we can drop 2 bombs, 1 bomb, 4 bombs at a time, 4 bombs in sequence, and kind of get an idea of what that looks like. So here I'm in the Drake Clipper. I've got 2 bombs queued up, and the great thing about these small bombs and fighters and other small ships is you can get a lot closer, which means you don't have to lead them near as much. You see me in my approach here. I'm approaching jump down again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to release right over the top where I normally would in one of the larger bombers, and I release there and pull away. Now with the larger bomber that would be a hit, but I overshot it this time. So when you're that close and you can get right up in their face, just put the red circle right on it. Making another run here, and this time I've got 2 bombs queued up. This time I'm going to get right up in their face, and I'm going to release right as a red reticle is on top of jump down. Since it's nice and close, you don't have to overshoot it. Just release and pull away. Right on the money. This time I've got 4 bombs queued up, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do basically a quick run, diving down at it, slight angle, release. And that's 4 bombs versus 2 bombs. It doesn't look a whole lot different, and so I don't think if you're just trying to clear out ground troops, there's much of an advantage to dropping 4 bombs over 2. But if you're trying to destroy vehicles and ground equipment, the DPS will probably do you some good. This time I'm dropping from much farther away. You see I released when the red reticle was over the top of it because I was a lot higher up. I wasn't down in their face that time. So if you are even the small bombs, if you're dropping them from farther away, you want to make sure you've got that red reticle right over the top. Same as with a larger bomber. That time I'm just going to get down in the face, dive at it, and drop the bomb. So you can just like hastily like lunge forward and drop a bomb if you need to and hit a bullseye. So I was a little bit curious about how effective it would be to drop bombs in sequence and how fast you can drop bombs. Right now I'm in a gladiator. I want to try to get 3 or 4 bombs out in sequence, not all at the same time. So if you see I'm doing a diving run, I've got the reticle over the top and I'm trying to fly at a steady about 100 meters a second, and I'm dropping 3 bombs. There's 1, 2, 3 away. Now I'm going to back off and see. Now you'll see 1 bomb impact, way short, 2 medium short, and the 3rd one very short. And from what we know so far, that kind of makes sense. The higher up you are when you drop the bomb, the more you need to lead it. So I'm just going to dive at it and drop a bomb because we know that's going to work, and that prowler just went bye-bye. So this could be really effective if you're just trying to drop little bombs in an area and you don't know exactly where the target is. That can be really helpful just to get a whole bunch of bombs down. Just dive, release some bombs. But it's not going to be incredibly accurate. Now, there's probably ways you can practice and get good at it, but I don't see a huge advantage in that. Here, I'm doing it again. I'm just outside of SCD-1 on Daymar, lining up on Ares, either Ion or Inferno. That's by a cave. Drop 1 bomb, drop 2 bombs, 128 meters a second. 3rd bomb away, just over the top of it. Just trying to see how accurate that we can get this spread. Not so tight that it's all bombs together, but looks like the last one hit it, which makes sense because that was the one for where I was the closest. Alright, and I'm going to try this one more time, and basically just trying to see how close I can get more than 1 sequence drop small bombs into that green circle. And I'm pretty much vertical right now. I've got to be like at 80 degrees. Maybe 85 degrees. If you get it at a straight 90, it won't really drop them for you. But here I've got 3 away. There's the 3rd one. You can see there's quite a gap between when the next one loads up and you can drop it. But if you're flying down, they should all land a lot closer to the same time. 1, 2, and 3. So I got 2 in the green circle that time. So it would make sense to me that the higher you up, just aim farther over and then just kind of bring the red circle closer and closer and closer. The lower you get, you should be able to put a sequence of 3 or 4 bombs right on target. So that's about it, folks. Now, at this point, you know about everything I know, which I can't say is a whole lot. But at least after getting your bomber certification, you'll be certified to put warheads on foreheads, become a same-day delivery expert for Auric. Just a couple of things I want to go over before we end this video today. Keep in mind that the larger the ship, the farther away you have to be. The farther away you have to be, the more you have to overshoot it. And that's going to be compounded by heavier atmosphere and heavier gravity. So it's a good idea to go scout out. If you know where the mission's going to be beforehand, like say tomorrow we got a big operation, you know it's going to be on Microtech. Go out to Microtech, drop some bombs, figure out how far you got to lead them just so you're going to be prepared when it comes time to go into battle for the Auric. I'm really bad at closing out these videos, so I'm just going to say keep an eye out for more. Gunnery certification, dropship pilot certification. These videos are created for the Auric organization. If you did find it organically, like I said earlier, and you're not a part of Auric, please, enjoy the videos. Hopefully you'll learn something too. I just ask that you don't use them against us in the future. If you don't have an org and you'd like to join an org, check out Auric. We love to have new members. We're a growing organization. We're about medium sized. We have a lot of fun. Just a bunch of guys and girls that like to play together. So long, everyone. Check out the next one.